Also, a fairly popular mod I'm going to do for the fridge is the vent fan off the back. And you can see here that it mounts on the back of the refrigerator and it sucks the heat up off the coils. And it says there are 4 ways to install. I'm going to review it and figure out where I'm going to put it, and I'll take you with me. Okay, this is the vent fan. I was expecting a probe that would sit on the coils and read the temperature, but that's not the way it works with this one. This is the Volterra. Here are the instructions. It basically reiterates what it says here on the back, where to install. And then it says it has a thermostat here that when it gets 100 degrees or better, it turns the fan on. And that way when it's cooler, this will keep the fan off. You got the hot and ground on the fan. That's what it looks like. The different mounting options here. The hardware and a switch to turn the thing off or on. And it's basically that simple. I gotta figure out where to put it now. Okay, I'm at the top vent. Bottom one I've already removed. And these are pretty simple to get off. You can take a screwdriver and twist them. That's in place, horizontal. Vertical is remove it. You can do these a lot of times by hand, yeah, like I just did there. But it doesn't feel good on the fingers. And then you pop it out. Look on the back, you can see that when you twist it, it just extends these into that little square hole, and that's how it stays connected. Alright, looking in, I see fins on the coils at the very top. And that may be a good candidate right there to mount it to. My thoughts are to not mount it in here. And the reason being is because you'd think, you know, pulling from up and blowing it straight out would be one thing, but what's going to happen is there's vent louvers that go across here and here, so it's going to pull air from the sides, fresh air out here, and not be as efficient as pulling up from over the coils. So I was like, well, I'm going to mount it down here, and I tried to fit this thing in there every which way I could, and it does not fit in there anywhere. So there's no choice in this one, it has to go at the top. Here's where I put the exhaust fan. It is, if you look here, it is not touching the fins. I didn't want that plastic potentially melt. It's attached here with those metal straps. And what I've done now is I've taken and undone all the wire. And I secured it with tape to a file, which is heavy, and all I'm going to do is run it down the wall. And the weight of the file will carry it down. That's where the file stopped. I'll grab it and I'll run the wires down behind here from this heat plate to keep the wires from getting hot. And I'll probably mount the switch on this plate right here. Okay, to keep the wires from getting heated and potential possible issues, I duct taped it back here, and there's a wire that I electrical tape on, and that should hold it close to this insulation here all the way down, and I will take some precautions on the bottom side too. Now I'm going to close this up. Alright, the wires I taped coming down. I kept them away from the vent stack here. I taped them here and taped them here, ran them right underneath here and back, and this is where I mounted the switch, off and on. Then I loop it from the switch up to the wire holder there to keep it away from anything hot, and down here behind this wire holder and over into the battery plus and ground, or positive and ground. And that completes the installation of this mod. And I feel some hot air blowing out from this vent up here. Let me get in here and see what it is. Would you look at that? That thing is working. Let me see what happens when I turn this switch off. Should be able to, yeah, bend down here. And it turns off. How about that? Mod works. Close this up and locked it in place. Always make sure you double check that. And pulled this hose out. And that mysterious hose, I had to ask what that was. I wasn't sure myself. It's supposed to stick out of there. That is the drain that comes from, there's a catch bucket underneath the fins inside the refrigerator. And that catch plate, bucket, whatever you want to call it, has a hole. It leads to a drain and it comes outside the vehicle there.